Hello everybody and welcome back to another visual pattern challenge. Here's our pattern today. We've actually got step 0 that we're starting with and then steps 1, 2, and 3. Your challenge is to predict how many of these circles are going to be left in step 4. If you can do that, can you predict the number left in step 43? And can you write an equation that could be used to express the number of circles in any step at all? Watch out, we've got fractions here. If you choose to accept the challenge, pause the video and see what you can do. All right, I think the first step is to figure out how big this square is. It looks like 10 by 10, but let me just count here. Yeah, that's 10 by 10. So there are 100 circles to start with. And then we start taking away fractions, and it looks like the fractions are always in thirds. Like this circle is missing 1/3, that circle is missing 2/3. So I think I'm just going to count the number of thirds that we're subtracting here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like we subtracted 5/3 in that step. What did we do in step 2? So I'm going to count again the total number of thirds missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there were 5/3 missing. Now there are 10/3 missing. It looks like we subtracted another 5/3. So we should have 15 missing thirds if this pattern holds true. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Beautiful. So to get to step 3, we subtracted another 5/3. So in step 4, we're just going to subtract another 5/3, but we have to figure out how many there are here to begin with, right? So this is here, there are 15 thirds missing. So that's 100 minus 15 thirds. And what we want really is 5/3 more subtracted. So we're going to say 100 minus 20 thirds, because that's another 5/3. And what is that? Well, you may want to write 100 as a fraction over thirds. So that would be 300 thirds. That's the same as 100. 300 divided by 3 is 100. And we're going to subtract 20 thirds from that. That would leave you with 280 thirds. So that's how many thirds we have in step 4. I don't know if that's the simplest way to put it. 280 is not divisible evenly by 3. I know that because if you add the digits of any number together, 2 plus 8, that's 10. That's not divisible by 3, so this whole thing isn't going to be divisible by 3. So what is 280 divided by 3 so we can make this, instead of an improper fraction, we can make it a mixed number? Well, let's just do some long division really quickly. You remember how to do this. How many 3's go into 2? Well, none of them fit in there. How about in 28? Let's see, 3 times 9 is 27. So 3 times 9, 27. And that would leave 10. How many 3's in 10? Well, that'd be 3. And then we multiply, get 9. So 1 left over. 1's our remainder. That's 1 over 3. So this answer then is 93 and 1/3 circles in step 4. Did you follow all that? That's some fraction, subtraction, and then some long division. Maybe you haven't done that in a while. All right, how about an equation for this? So I don't think we're going to make a chart with the numbers here. I don't think we have to do that, because for an equation, this is a linear pattern because it's changing by the same amount each time. It's going down, so what we multiply by x is going to be negative. In fact, it's going to be this negative 5/3. In y equals mx plus b, this m is the slope. That's the same as the rate of change in a pattern. So we could say y equals negative 5/3 x. Now, what is the b in this case? Well, in step 0, if we put in 0 for x, this part disappears. So b has to be the total number in step 0, which is 100. So there you go. So that's an equation we could use. You could also, it might be easier to write it like this: y equals 100 minus 5/3 x. I actually find that easier for doing the math that we have to do to figure out how many in step 43. So I'm going to leave it like that: y equals 100 minus 5/3 x. So x in this case is 43. So that's 100 minus, now 5 times 43 is 215. So, oops, I didn't want equals, I wanted minus 215 thirds. So that's 5 thirds times 43 is 215 thirds. Now, the 100 is not in thirds, so let's make that 300 over 3 like we did before. And we do the subtraction now, 300 minus 215. Well, that is 85 thirds. And you could leave your answer like that. You could do some long division again. I think if you do that, you'll come out with 28 and 1/3 for how many left in step 43. Well, how did that go for you? Did you get 93 1/3 for step 4? Did you come up with this equation? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.